Good evening, good evening, and welcome to a new edition of Urban Sentinel Live. I'm your host, Reginald Kearney, and we are picking up where we left off last Monday night. And this is part two of our interview with Dr. Michael Steele, all the way from the UK, all the way from London, England. So we do appreciate him being with us tonight because it's about 1:30 in the morning in the UK at this time. It's only 8:30 here, and the sun hasn't even fully gone down here on the East Coast yet. So I do appreciate him being here with us tonight, and when he could be laid out getting a little rest tonight. So, Dr. Steele, how you doing tonight, man?
Yeah, Reggie, I'm doing pretty good. Had a long day today. Just got off the Class of SteelE because we do classes on Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday nights. Okay. So we completed our class and we're getting ready for a major training on the 10th of July. That's coming up on Zoom, a 10th of July training. So we excited about that, getting the management team together and all that good stuff.
Okay. So briefly, just give us some background information to get us started with tonight about your organization.
Well, I think, as you know, we went into some discussion last week, and added to that, I have a passion for creating an environment of helping those who cannot engage services or opportunities that others can engage. And I've been to Africa, and man, my first trip to Africa really changed my life. When you get on the ground and you recognize you belong there, you're a part of there, and you look at how privileged you are, not in an environment where you're more up there totally, but we're really privileged on this side of the world, and you look at the needs that they have, and you say, wow, I got to do something. I really have to do something. And I think one of the greatest things that I could do is take the technology, is to take the skills, but also to take the people that don't have somebody that can give them a credible representation of what's on ground. Because a lot of folks want to help and reach out to those that are there, but they don't have a point of contact or reference. So I decided to, let me make myself be that person that persons will trust me, they respect me, they honor me, and let me be that person that says, okay, you know what? Let me help them. Let me be the one to bring you to the table and show you that here are the people that we're going to work with and support. And that's what it's been for me. Those in government, giving them opportunities to engage the United Nations and other international regulatory bodies, engage funding and grants from other countries, helping them with applications. So it's all about creating an environment where I help the people that are on the other side to be better than I found them. Not to say that persons out there are suffering and persons are going through the worst state of life. I want to maintain a balance, but there are those in those circles who need our assistance and our support. And that's what I'm able to look at doing and helping and supporting them.
Okay, good. So, okay, let me see my thoughts are. Where do I want to run with this tonight? Tell me about the class you just had tonight. What was it?
Well, tonight's class was tonight was actually putting together. We've just created a membership website. We've got our membership site up. It's ready. We've got our management team officially in place, and we've got our structure in place for the event that's coming up on the 10th of July, and then we're also heading off to Dubai on the 29th and the 30th of September. We're going to be in Dubai for a major Africa Dubai summit, investment summit, and we're building on the platform on what we have, and I'm putting the people who are going to be the pioneers and the foundation and the cornerstones of what we're doing. A lot of times we tend to do things based on a project, but we don't do things with a sustainability mindset. And I like the fact that if it takes me a year to get the right team together, I rather spend 1 year and get the perfect team together and start working than to just start working with something. And every time you're working, this body's dropping off, that body's falling off, this body's not with you, that body doesn't like your idea, that body doesn't like your vision. So I believe in finding your team first. And once you find your team, finding the persons that you're going to work with, the persons you're going to coordinate with, then you put the work in place. The work is there, you know what you're going to do and where you're going, but you need to have that team that is committed to going all the way. And I believe that we have the team in the Class of SteelE that are now definitely ready to say, you know what, we're in this together, because they're not every time you're going to win, and it's not every time you're going to lose. It's not every time that you're not going to be in an opportunity where you get a better deal, because a lot of times organizations struggle because, you know, the people that they're promoting, all of a sudden somebody better comes and back raises them, and then they lose them. You know what I mean? So what you do is you get a team that you're going to say, you know what, if you can be bought, you can't be on the team, because you don't want people that are going to be able to be bought on your team. You want to make sure you got a strong team.
That's good. That's a good point that you make. You know, having a strong team surrounds you, because that's what a success is, and the people you surround yourself with. So that develops a strong team. Look. And tell me, how did you meet Dr. Anita?
Dr. Anita David Defoe. I had a radio program. I was on Carib Voice Radio, and while I was doing my broadcast, I remember I was introduced to Dr. Defoe by one of her, a mutual colleague, and she would come on the broadcast, and she got interviewed on my radio station quite a few times, and we formed a good friendship. I remember I went to Florida. I actually met Dr. Defoe again with another mutual friend in Florida while I was there. So we had some good times. And when I was the general secretary for the International Gathering for Peace and Human Rights, I thought of a person that I really would like to, you know, open Africa to, and you know, and share some things with. And you know, she was one of the persons that came alongside and accepted to help me with what I was doing, you know, in pioneering the groundbreaking work we were doing in Africa. And so said, so done. And then we haven't seen each other for a lot of years. We just went our separate paths, continued to do what we do. And when the Class of SteelE came up, I said I needed a top speaker, a top lecturer, a top mentor, a top friend, a person of integrity, a person with character, a person that does what they say they're gonna do, and they're not intimidated by the what you would say is somebody bigger come along. You know, you got those folks that are looking for the next big opportunity. So I know that where I was not up there, and I needed somebody that's gonna come and, one, help me get there, but also somebody that I could equally take where I am at a different level. And she agreed. And since she has agreed, you know, we've been working with the Class of SteelE. We tag team and sharing. She brings some powerful teaching to the people of Africa, which is her passion also. And equally, we just got back from Dubai. Dr. Defoe and myself, we just got back from a trip in Dubai that was so powerful. And it has even bonded us closer, that she says to me, as soon as you're going back to Dubai, I'm there. And so we're going to be back there in September, and she definitely will be there. But the thing else that with Dr. Defoe is I really have her on board, because she's also bringing her resources to the table. And that's important. For example, you know, I wouldn't have known you if it hadn't been for her. And equally, you wouldn't have known me if it had been for her. And I think that what we do is we're at the place where we don't have to vet each other. We've known each other for so long, each other being the same way and same character. So if she tells me, Michael, I want you to go there, I don't question it. I trust her, and I just honor her, and I don't care who it is. Once she gives me that okay, I'm fine. And I think she treats me the same way. Once I says, Dr. Defoe, I want you to, you know, would you support this person or that venture or whatever? And we do it together as a team.
Okay, good, good, good. Now, let's talk about opportunities in Africa. How can black businesses from here in the States get involved and get into get opportunities in Africa in different countries? How can they get involved?
Now here's the thing. We're gonna need a part three, part four. This is like it gonna be a series. Because you open a can of worms that
Mm-hmm,
I don't want to make a statement and the statement becomes what's the right word? The cornerstone. Do you know what I
mm-hmm,
mean? Because there's no such thing as a cornerstone or a blanket statement pertaining to getting involved in Africa. It's a different beast. That's the
mm-hmm,
first thing you need to know. And the second thing is you need somebody that is on ground that you trust. And then the most important thing is you need somebody that is not on ground, that is not wrapped up in the culture, that you're going to be letting make the decisions. What do I mean by that? So when you get in Africa, you see why persons are the way they are, and you will become that as well, because the way they are is based on the dynamics that they're working with. A lot of people say, oh, Nigerians, they are Africans, they don't return calls, they don't take calls, they're always, you can't have proper conversations, they don't do emails. But when you look at the dynamics that they're faced with in maintaining those things that we take for granted, then you kind of understand, and you don't make excuses, because it's not about making excuses, but you become just like that. So you don't want to be working with somebody who's on ground and you trust only, but you want somebody that is not there, that they don't tolerate that, because I don't tolerate some of the things that persons they do. So to get involved, you're going to need a mentor. You're going to need somebody that you're going to take their word, you're going to trust them, but you also have to act when they tell you to act, because people in Africa are looking for opportunities and they really don't have time to just waste. We have the time to sit down and wait and think, but those
mm-hmm.
folks are so ready. They're so ready that if you waste time and you procrastinate, you could lose opportunities. However, if you act too fast, you could also get trapped. So there's a balance that you have to be able to strike, and you need to have somebody who understands the culture, understands the dynamic, and is willing to work with you as the go between. Because if for example, Reggie, you want to do something and folks have access to you to do the thing, they'll take you to the cleaners. But if you have a person that is in between you and them, and you deal with that person and you keep them in that environment, then what happens is individuals are ever trying to step up to the plate, because they don't know what to expect from Reggie. But as soon as they get to know Reggie, they get intimate with Reggie, it's a done deal. It's kind of like having a child that knows daddy's gonna tolerate this, and the child just takes daddy for granted. So it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of like that, but it's a different
So,
beast, totally.
so the best advice you can give someone is to have a mentor and not develop close relationships. Keep it as business as possible. Just deal with the business aspect of it. Don't let them get into your inner circle to a certain
Well,
extent.
yes and no. You got a sense of what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm,
Intimacy is important. For example, if you and I are doing business with somebody, for example, in Ghana, the person in Ghana knowing that they have access to you and intimacy with you makes them comfortable. It feels good. And you
mm-hmm,
having that as well, it boosts your confidence that the mentor or the middle person you're working with is not kind of taking you for granted, through them. But it also boosts the other person's confidence that they know that if they need you, they have access to you. But what happens is you need that middle person, that when you're dealing with the business, you stick to the business and you tell them, okay, deal with Michael about that, or deal with Joe about that, because that's not your area. Because basically, Joe is like your advisor, and you need that, because anytime people see that you're the one that signs the check, or you're the one that makes the decision, the buck stops with you, you're done. They will take you, it'll be a challenge. So my advice personally is have somebody that is going to walk you through the cultural dynamics that you're dealing with, because they will know the person that they're dealing with and how they operate. That's one. Two, have somebody willing to get on ground for you and be your eyes on the ground. Because a lot of times, the eyes that you have on the ground, if it's the individual, they will show you what they want you to see. But you need somebody that's going to be showing you what is there that you need to be seeing totally, not just what they want you to see. You want to see everything that is going to cause you to make your conscious decision.
Okay. Good, good. So that means I can't just fly over there, jump off the plane, and go to and get a business going over there.
Oh, yes, you can. Oh, yes, you
Okay.
can. Oh, yes, you can. The people of Africa, they're very hospitable, they're very open, and they're very welcoming.
Hmm.
And once you find a good family and good people and you treat them with respect and honor, of course, they'll look after you.
Hmm.
Definitely you can. That's why I said to you, it's not there's no faint pulse of conversation that you could just close off, because I'm not here to knock the people as they're bad or they're good. What I'm trying to say is, to get the best opportunity, you need to create an environment where you secure your bases. Either you're going to be on ground and you're going to be comfortable to build a relationship and see it for yourself, or you're going to have somebody that's going to be the go-between, somebody that's going to explain to you, but how comes I'm calling in and he doesn't take his phone? And I could tell you, well, because he goes into the bush, he deals with gold and he deals with those things, and when you're in the bush you don't have signal, so sometimes they're
Hmm.
in the bush for 2 and 3 days, so you're not going to hear him. So you need somebody like me that's going to stop you in the midst of frustration, because a lot of times you're going to need an answer immediately or today. And somebody's going to tell you, I'll get back to you in 2 and 3 days. And you might not understand the dynamics that they're working with.
Hmm.
So having somebody that understands the dynamics of the culture, but not just the culture, have somebody that understands the person that you're working with,
Hmm.
also makes it more advantageous to you making successful decisions.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. Um, what does a future look like for you in your organization? What would you like to see over the next 5 years from now to the next with a 5 year limit? What would you like to see?
You know,
Your goals.
my goals. I'll give you a strange to answer that. I have to tell you something really strange, and this might throw a lot of folks, but this is gonna sound really strange.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I'm a man of God. Okay, I'm a Christian,
Mm-hmm.
and and I'm very close to God. I have a very intimate relationship with my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Very personal and intimate. Um, and I remember in one of my crises that I was going through, the Lord asked me, Michael, what would you like me to do for you? What would you like? And I started to cry. I says, God, don't ask me that. Don't ask me, because you see, everything you've asked me what I want, and I told you what I want. When I got it, it didn't do what I wanted to do. And you know what? I'm just don't ask me. Just let me take it one day at a time, Lord. And I said that to say this. I had expectations that I was gonna have things done in the last year. I wanted to be somewhere in the last year. I wanted to be, and I haven't been. And what I've discovered is I like every day something new happens, and it continues to build and grow. You make new relationships, you help more people, you get a stronger team together that is more confident in what you're doing. So with all due respect and sincerity, all I want to do is be here tomorrow. I think that's what I would like to say. I would like the class of SteelE to be here tomorrow. And I would like to still be doing what I'm doing and having people proud of the contribution that the class of SteelE, not just me being an individual, but the class of SteelE, all of us come together and contribute to Africa, to Dubai, to the United Arab Emirates, to the whole world, the Caribbean. I would like for us collectively to sit down and say, wow, we did make a difference. We really did help some folks. And I want that to be a daily thing, a weekly thing, one day at a time. I don't really want to say what I would like to accomplish in 10 years. I would like to say that in 10 years, I'd like to still be doing what I'm doing right now, which it is fulfilling the desires of my heart.
Okay, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. Because we gotta have God with us. When we go through these, I wouldn't say on our journey we need to have God with us. Okay, I was gonna say through our trials and tribulations, but no, on our journey, we just need Him have Him there with us, and we need to pray through this and make the right decisions that move us to the next level. It helps us grow and helps us touch people around the world. And that's what it's all about, just touching people and getting people to see the opportunities that are out there. You know, I don't think we touched on your relationship with United Nations. Tell us about your relationship with United Nations.
Well, for many years, I had the privilege. I had the privilege through the government of Barbados under the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister then David Thompson. David Thompson, the Prime Minister at the time, and he has deceased and he's gone on now. May he rest in peace. And through the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Senator Maxine McLean in Barbados, and all those good folks, that they gave me the opportunity to go to Geneva to be at the United Nations in an organization that dealt with youth called Youth for Human Rights International. And that really gave me a taste of being among young people that are global change makers and engage in the United Nations. And also it opened me to looking at working with cultures and diversity at a different level than just being a Christian. And as a result of that, I studied a lot. I've learned a lot. I've read a lot. I'm very well read, and I continue to expand. And then through the organization of the Canadian International Chaplaincy Association, Seeker International, I was appointed as a peace ambassador under the leading of His Excellency Dr. Philip Finn. And he gave me the opportunity to be an ambassador to the United Nations in Vienna, Austria. And that kind of added value to what I was already doing. And also my organization, Steel Design Studio Limited, as a matter of fact, as the 30th of April this year, we were involved, we got recognized by the Global Compact, the United Nations Global Compact. I'm a signatory to the compact. So that also opens opportunities for you to operate at a different level. And what it has done for me, I think it gives me the mindset of integrity at a different level. Integrity, stewardship, commitment, keeping trends, sticking to what you say you're going to do, and building relationships that are going to add value along the way. And if I might say, we have an organization that I have sponsored, and I believe that very soon they're going to be in consultative status with the United Nations, for which I have applied for that. And I believe that they will be approved very soon. And I will have on my, I think I will say, one notch on my belt that says we've opened an application for an organization single-handedly, that I got to fill an application for consultative status with the United Nations. So that's a bit of excitement for me as well.
Well, that's good. That is good. That is great. That is great. Great stuff. Great stuff. Well, Mike, all good things must come to an end. I really have enjoyed talking to you over the last 2 weeks, and I look forward to having offline discussions with you, going forward. I
Yes.
think what you're doing is great. It's excellent. Uh, we need more of you. We need more of what you're doing in this world, and I thank God that you're doing it. That you're doing it, and I really wish you continued success with your organization. And who knows, I might make it over to Dubai sometimes for one of those regional conferences that you have, or the worldwide conferences that you have. And maybe sometimes you can bring the conference to the United States, so we can get a taste of what you're doing. It sounds
Well,
like you're
we're
doing some good
doing.
stuff.
So next year we're going to be in London. We're going to be here in London, the Leaders Without Borders Development Center, which is one of our
Mhm.
partners strategically. We're hosting here in London next year, and I'm going to be 50 on the 25th of September. So if you ever want to think about coming to Dubai, I think you should take this trip because I'm going to do my bucket list, which is jumping out the plane.
Hey, my birthday is August the 21st. I'll be 64. And I've been
Okay,
thinking about jumping out of the plane.
are you
Really been
serious?
thinking about it. Yeah. Yeah.
Why don't you join me? I think I did something. No, I'll tell you this. I did something that's very interesting. My wife
Uh-huh.
is a student pilot, and my wife
Okay.
flew me and our son when he was, I think he was a year old, and my
Mhm.
wife flew us on a Cessna, and it was the weirdest and something I don't think I will do again. But I had the privilege of my wife flying me in a plane, and my next one is jumping out of the plane and doing that parachute dive. So the 25th of September, I said, you know what? You're going to be 50. And if the Lord spares my life and all things being equal, I'll be
Mhm.
doing that on the 25th of September.
Yeah, I've always had a desire for it. I've had a desire for years. 10, 15, 20 years. I say that's one thing on my bucket list I want to do. Just do it one time. I'll be happy. I'll be satisfied. I wouldn't be the kind to do, weekend jumping. I just want to do it one time, get it out of the way and say, okay, yeah, I did. I felt that thrill. But hey, we'll talk about it. But for my viewers, uh, we've been talking to Dr. Michael Steele, the Class of SteelE, and this is the part two of the conversation. He has an organization that's doing great things around the world, especially in the area of education. He's educating business owners, government leaders, you name it. He's working on it, and so he's contributing to what's going on in this world right now. Dr. Steele, what's the final word from you for tonight?
Final word from me for tonight is integrity. Don't and as a matter of fact, and based on the final word, I will hit you a little bit. I'll knock you, and I'll knock you by saying this. Too many people say they want to do something, and they bamboozle you with bright ideas and bright thoughts and bright plans, and when you meet a doer, when you are a talker, you'll always have conflict. The relationship isn't going to gel. And if you want to do something and you want to engage opportunities and empower people, be a doer. Don't you can say what you're gonna do is fine, but do it. But it's more
Mhm.
better to just do it and get on with it. And one of my mentors said to me, if you want to teach religion, the first thing to take out of the equation is your tongue.
Okay, that was a good piece of advice. That was a good piece of advice. So look, tomorrow night, if you want to dig into the politics of this country tomorrow night, come back and join me on Real World News TV at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5:30 Pacific Time, where myself and my co-host Sherry and Tabby will be talking about the week's events that have happened here in the United States. And boy, have we had some events over the last past week, and seeing that we're going to continue on for the foreseeable future having events that we need to talk about. Again, I want to thank Dr. Michael Steele for being with us from the Class of SteelE, a great organization, and we will be talking. So until the next time, to the viewers, y'all take care, be safe, stay hydrated because it's very hot over here in the States right now. Very, very hot, So really, check on your elderly people and make sure that they not getting in undue distress because of this hot weather we're having right now. So take care. I'll see y'all again next Monday night on Urban Sentinel Live. Take care in Great Britain. Go on and go to bed, Dr. Sting. Get you some rest, man.
I got a lot of work to do. It ain't bedtime, man. It's time to work.
Okay. Take care now. Bye bye.
Bye for now, sir. Thank you.
Okay.